Hey guys, welcome back. Happy New Year. We are in 2024 and I am on Project Rustoration. So, better yet, we are finishing up Project Rustoration. And the reason why I say that, I don't know if restoration is the proper term for 2024 because obviously we have knocked all of this rust here that you see off this car. This is some of the pieces that I saved because there was so much rust that it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe the amount of rust that came off of this vehicle. And if you look at it now, which I'm going to show you in a second, it's all gone, it's all fixed. And I'm so pleased to have this video that I can say I did it. And again, I should say we did it because it wasn't just me. Obviously you guys saw Kevin, there was Craig. So a bunch of guys helped with this project, which kind of leads me into what's so special about this car, right? I'm sure a lot of guys are asking, why on earth did I take on this project? So let me tell you what happened. Well guys, I think it's very clear that everybody knows by now I love MR2s. I've been doing this since 2019. So I always had a love for these cars back when I was in high school. Honestly, I never thought of getting one after high school, but full circle, watching YouTube, see MR2s come up and I'm like, you know, triggered something in me and I said, I'm gonna get back, I wanna get an MR2. So that started off with the Gen 5 swap that I did and evolved into the 91 MR2 that I got, and now this red slate, right? Which I call it the red slate Project Rustoration that I ended up with. So here it is. This is what was the floor on the driver's side. And you know, if you've been following along, you know, basically the car came with this, which was no floor at all. You could literally sit in there and put your feet on the ground. So that's how rusted this thing was. And then of course, this is, you know, as I mentioned before, this is just a portion of some of the stuff that we knocked off. I'll try to find some videos and some clips of what this car really looked like if you weren't following along and you're just tuning in. So you kind of see where we are, or where we were and where we are today. But again, huge achievement. By no means, guys, this is something I've never done in my life. I never even thought I could do it, to be honest with you. But one thing I always tell people, there's a will, there's a way, and if you're motivated enough, there's nothing you can't do. So again, it's not perfect, but it's way, way much better than when I first received a car. So let's talk about this. Why did I end up with this car? Why would anyone go out, find a car like this, and want to do it in their garage? Especially when you've never had this experience before and this is something new to you. So here's the story that I have been holding. I got this car last year, I think mid-year, and I really wanted to tell the story, but I figured the time has to be right for me to tell this story because I wasn't sure if this car would make it back on the road. Originally, the whole idea of getting a car here, I was so excited. I was ready 2GR. I was going to make it my daily driver. That's how excited I was because I always wanted a red MR2, right? I know I have white ones, but the red one is, if you're going to get an MR2, to me, it's like red. It's kind of like my Subaru. If you're going to get an Subaru, you got to be blue, right? So I always wanted this red MR2, and lo and behold, I was on the forums and this guy reached out to everyone on the forum and he said, hey, I got an MR2. Who's interested? I no longer want the car. I wanted to go to a good home. And this was literally like 2 a.m. in the morning. I saw this on the forums and I sent a note and I said a private message. I didn't even respond on the chat that this car came up on the forum. And I said, hey, I'd love to restore this car on my channel if you think that would be okay. Anyways, never thought much, went to bed. That was it, right? Went to work the next day. Didn't think much of it. Just kind of figured, hey, what are the odds? I'm never going to get that lucky. But sure enough, this is what happened. So if you got this far in the video, you're vested now, you got to learn the entire story. So again, guys, saw this guy post up on the forums that he has this MR2 available. If anybody's interested, he was actually not looking to sell the car. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Nobody gives away a free car, but hey, I'll just send him a private message. Maybe he might be interested if I could restore it on the channel. So I sent a message, went to work the next day, and I go to bed late. So, you know, you guys probably figured it out by now. I'm actually doing this video, it's pretty late. So the next night, I am actually just after work, chilling. This is around 1 a.m. in the morning. And I went and I said, let me just look at the forums again. Totally forgot that I even sent this message. And I get a reply that says, hey, if you want, the car is yours. I'm like, wow, I get all excited. So I respond, I'm like, sure. I'm like, what do you want for the car? The gentleman, and his name is Justin, he says, I want nothing for the car. You just need to pick up the vehicle and it's yours. Do whatever you want to do with it. And I'm like, holy moly. Like, is this for real? And I responded, I'm like, I don't even know anything about the car. I'm like, what color is the car? And he says the car is red. Guys, I was so excited at 1 a.m. in the morning. My wife was sleeping. I went and I tapped her in the bed. I woke up all my kids and I'm like, guess what? I got a free MR2, right? I was so excited. At this point, I didn't even believe that I was gonna actually get this car. I just figured, okay, it's a long shot, whatever. Somebody's taking me for a ride on the internet. But sure enough, the next morning, sent my number, made a phone call, and the gentleman said, hey, listen, I have had this car sitting for over 10 years. I drove it when I was in college. It was painted, upholstery was done, engine was replaced, and I parked it and I went off after college and I got a job in another state and he's out of town and the car just sat there. It was sitting there from about 2014 and here we are in 2024. So again, imagine this car sitting for so many years. So I'm like, okay, fine. He sent me some pictures. I was so excited, guys. Red MR2, it had the border kit on it. Wasn't my favorite, so I was like, you know what? This is a clean car. I'm going to restore it. I bought a brand new, a used OEM bumper because I was going to convert it back to stock. Not knowing that, hey, listen, we had all of this going on. Now, in fairness to the person who gave me this car, he had no clue as well. Honestly, in talking to the guy, he was very excited that I was so excited to get this car and what I was going to do. He was going to be able to watch it on the channel, see it being restored. And restored in the sense of just cleaned up, get the engine running again, and just have a nice car. Because in his mind, the way he left it 10 years ago, it was in the same condition. And again, you know, obviously that was not the case, but all fairness to the person who actually gave me this car. That is correct, guys. I got this car for free, right? Justin, thank you so much. It means the world to me that you offered this car to me and I was able to take it. And I'll be honest with you, when I first got it, I was a bit disappointed because I knew you thought that the car was in perfect condition. I thought the car was in perfect condition. And my disappointment wasn't so much that I got a car that's rusty. It was, I got a car that you thought was in good shape and I potentially may have to scrap the car. I didn't want to do that, right? The fact that you gave it to me, I didn't want to have to scrap this car. And guys, that is why I took it on and I figured one way or another, I'm going to get this thing back on the road. And that is how the story started. Now, I did try to get a body guy to do this, as you probably know. Didn't work out. And I said, that's not going to stop me either. I'm going to find a way to do it. So we bought this machine, the Yes Welder. And of course, Kevin, my good friend, he said, I got you. We're going to figure this out. No, none of us have ever done this. Kevin is a professional welder, but none of us are professional car or body repair guys. But guys, we did it. And honestly, that is the story. That is the reason why I took this project on and did not care how much work it was. I needed to do right by this gentleman that gave me this car. He gave me something that he thought was good. Wasn't as we all expected, but I could not scrap this car, right? I wanted to see this car come back to life. I wanted the previous owner to see the car back on the road, feel good about it. And that is the reason why this project happened. Now, Justin, again, just want to say thank you. You did give the right guy the car. I am going to bring it back. It is in stage 1 of the restoration. As best as I could, I am going to take it even further and I'm going to do more work and it's just going to keep getting better and better and better, right? I know you had a rough year in 23. Hang in there. If this is enough for me to try to bring it back on the road and give you some peace and satisfaction just watching it, I hope it helps because I know 23 was kind of rough for you. But guys, without further ado, that is the story of this car. I am very excited. I'm more excited now that no rust. Nothing falls on the floor. This is going in the trash as of today because the rust is gone. It is no longer Project Rustoration. It's my red slate. All right. So let me show you where we are. Again, you probably would have seen some of the footage of all the rust spots on it. Let me show you what we look like today. And of course, more to come on this car. I gotta put the interior back in. There's a bunch of stuff, but just stay tuned. My 2GR is still on the rack. We're still gonna put that in one of these cars. Is either the red one or the TRD one outside. But let me show you what's up with the car, the Milestone, and how far we've gotten to date. All right, so let's start off with the passenger side footwell. I mean, look at this thing, guys. The brakes, these are the original brakes that came on the car that were covered in rust. And I sat for hours with a wire brush because I knew they were new when he put them on. The pads are brand new. I figured if I can clean the rust off, I can bring them back. So again, there's a little mark in here from the wheel. That will get cleaned up in a few here, but brakes are good. Calipers are nicely painted. Look at this suspension over here. Check this out. Everything has chassis paint. The sway bar is painted white. And then look at the rubber coating that I put underneath. Right, so all of that, this is the passenger side front footwell. So again, nice and clean. If we move alongside the rocker panel, if you guys remember, all of here, and again, I'll try to insert the old photos. This was fully rotted out. So again, we cut here, we splice this in. If you're following along, you would have seen the videos, but look, it's a straight line. It's not perfect. This is kind of a little bit curved, but you know what? Hey, we did it at home. And the car doesn't have any rust, so I'm very pleased. So here is the passenger side footwell. Again, we had a huge hole right in here because that was rotted. Inside here was all gone, that was rotted. But again, Kevin aced it. Look at that. All nice and welded in. Cleaned up the metal, painted it, and then the same rubberized coating. This is the old suspension that may eventually go. The reason why you see the car in 4 jackstones is the wheels that came with the car, again, I was going to change them, but I said, you know what, I'm going to keep it original because I want to restore this thing so Justin feels good. He sees his car the way it was, and then maybe I can modify it after that if I choose to. But the only thing I'm going to do differently, same wheels, but I'm going to fix the offset so we're flush with the fender well here, right? So I'm going to work on that, probably put some extended studs or spacers here. So back here, we had a huge hole. This was again rotted out, so again that's fixed, patched up, and you know, again, as you see, everything is painted up and cleaned up. This entire section in the back behind the bumper, all of this was gone. So again, we fixed that. We got the donor parts from Craig, so that was very, very helpful. And then again, same situation with the brakes right here. Now I'll show you right here. We had a little rotted area here. I tried to fix this with body filler. Now I'm no expert. The paint is wrong because I just try to find a paint can to match. I'm gonna have to sand this down again. If you probably can't see it on camera, but if you go like this, it has a little dent because I didn't put enough body filler here. So I'm gonna sand this down again, and then we're gonna fix this, and I'm gonna figure it out. If it takes me all day, I'm gonna do it, but we're gonna fix these 2 spots. Then I'm gonna go to a professional paint shop and get the color matched, and just try to blend it in. But I may end up getting a car painted. I just don't know yet. It is going to get polished. We're going to see what it looks like. But it's going to look really good, guys. Let's go inside the trunk because that had holes in there too. Let me show you what's up. All right, so let's head into the trunk. And while we're at it, 3S GT love. If you love 3S GTs, here's a nicely done engine. This is Uncle Kevin. We haven't forgotten about you. This is going to go in Uncle Kevin's car. As much as I hate to move away from it, Uncle Kevin needs an engine, so we're going to help him out. Here's the beautiful 2GR build that's going to go somewhere in one of these cars, but here it is. And let's head on to the trunk. So again, the trunk, we had a hole in here. This was all, well, I wouldn't say all gone, but it was pretty rough. So right in the corner here, we had to weld in a piece. And then again, guys, this is where, this is the hard part, because basically from here down, all of this was gone. There was nothing. It was, I mean, you tapped it, it just fell to the floor. And look at that. No, I think, honestly, I think this looks even better than my other cars, because, you know, these MR2s are old. There's a little pinholes in some of them, but this one is nice and solid. Likewise on the other side. So both sides were bad. This is on the passenger side. So there you go. And again, welded, seam sealed, painted. So a lot of work. On the driver's side, I'll show you that real quickly. Here we have, again, the bumper section. It's back on, guys, and there's metal back there. Coming along, if you look in the fender well, Again, look how nicely this came out. Even the, look, a hole was in here. Look, no more hole, right? I mean, I'm just amazed that we were able to accomplish this. Brakes again, looking good. And again, very similar look as you saw on the other side. Yeah, even on the panel back here, I mean, I was concerned that when we welded this in, the bumper wouldn't line up properly. But again, it lines up perfectly. I mean, look, we got everything bolted in, OEM position. The little plastic piece is an additional piece that goes on. That lined up perfectly. So again, guys, I am so pleased with this. I'm going to just take the camera. I'm going to show you under the trunk in the exhaust area, because again, all of that was covered with rust. The exhaust hangers were, I mean, there's just rust everywhere. That's all I can tell you. So I'm going to show you what that looks like underneath there. And I want to document this because even for myself, I am so proud that we were able to achieve this, that I want to go back and watch these videos and say, hey, listen, I knew where this car was and here it is today. Let me take some photos under the trunk, and then we're going to wrap up with the interior. Interior is not done yet, and the passenger driver side rocker, and that's it. All right, so here we have it. This is underneath. So look at that. I mean, this, all of that got painted. There are the corners, as you can see. And then just here, I mean, I took so much dirt from this car. I mean, we could probably plant a tree in the name of this car with the amount of dirt just over the years. But, you know, I don't know if you can see it very well here. I'll try to show you, but it's not perfectly clean, but it is getting there. But look at that. I mean, if you guys have been following along, you guys know what this thing looked like when it came in. So there you go. All of that patched in. There's the exhaust hanger, again, fully restored. The aluminum plate is cleaned up as well. So just looking really good in my opinion. All right, and then we know we did the gas tank. So we got a new fuel pump in there. And again, everything there is looking good. So let's head over to the engine bay and then rocker panel and wrap this up. I'll do a little teaser right here. So this is the exhaust. Again, painted in high temperature black, matte black. So again, that's gonna go up next. But I'm just enjoying starting up this car with the no exhaust. It sounds really nice. A little bit too loud for the neighbors, but there you go. Every detail, guys. I've touched every detail. This panel back here was red. I sanded it down, painted it satin black. So yeah, it's coming along. On to the driver's side rocker again, from here to here. This was all gone. And again, it is there again. So we got panels, right? Kevin again, Kevin did an amazing job, right? Moving on to the interior, we're definitely not done here, but again, it's clean. We got a floor, we got a floor. So there you go, we got a floor. The seats were shampooed. The dash is out, I still need to put it in. I want to wash the car first just to test, because I haven't put the roof liner in yet. I want to test to see, because I knew definitely there was a leak coming into the car, but you know, I found an issue with the T-top. So one of the grommets was missing, and I think that's why the roof wasn't locking properly. So I think that's why water leaked in. But I want to wash the car first and test it before I put the interior in, because I don't want to put the interior in, wash it, and then I got to rip it out to figure out where the leak is from. More than likely somewhere from the T-top, but it's just easier to do it with the interior fully out. So that will come in the next one. And then engine bay. This thing starts up. Right now, it just fires right up. It idles at 800 RPM. Sounds very healthy. The oil is super clean. I mean, it feels like a brand new engine. So again, this is a cleaned up version of what it was. It is gonna look better than this. I'm gonna do valve cover. I'm just gonna do Python and Sway. As you guys know, these engines are gonna look really good. The plan right now is to keep the 5S in there, but you know me, probably get bored at some point and do a swap. But this is where we are for now. So let's head on back over to that side and let's close this up. Back in the interior on the passenger side, I mean, the radio is working again. The door locks were not working. We had a wiring issue. I rewired the driver door over there because the wires there's a short to the ground. And the speakers were busted on this side in terms of wiring. So I rewired all of that. So again, the radio is good. So a lot of work. You know, the dash, we took it out, the bar, I had this silver bar was, again, full of rust, and we're getting rid of all the rust. So I painted this thing silver. Kind of overkill, but it feels good, right? It feels good. So with that said, there's only one thing left to do. Well, two things left to do. One, say thank you to the gentleman, Justin, who gave me this car. Say thank you to Kevin and Craig and the camera lady, my wife, and my kids, and everybody who supported me getting this red car. The funny thing is, every time they said to me, what do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? I said, I want a red MR2, and I got a red MR2. So I'm very, very pleased. So the last thing we're gonna do is, this stuff needs to go in the trash. So we're done with rustoration. We're now on restoration. So here you go, guys. I am gonna put all of this in the trash. All right, so that is it. More rusted metal in the trash. And that's going to be a wrap for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Stay tuned for more. We'll get to some really nice, cool things that we're going to do on this car. Honestly, it's at the stage where I thought it would have been when I first got it. So now is when I'm really going to do the stuff that I know how to do. Stay tuned, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.